Juicing was a new experience for me when I started the eczema diet. If you're going to do it, you need to plan on cleaning up every day. If anything is allowed to dry on the parts of the juicer, it's really hard to get off. So it's best to wash everything every time you use the juicer. I'm only using my fingers. You can use a sponge or a washcloth. Certainly you might want to use soap. I don't, largely because I have eczema and it's hard on my skin. So periodically I allow my wife to wash everything with soap, and that makes sure that it gets completely clean. I've not had any issues with just using my fingers. You notice there's some small parts here that have pulp in them, and so I use a strainer in my sink to make sure that pulp doesn't get down into the drain. The pulp also tends to get in all sorts of nooks and crannies, so you have to carefully go over everything because you don't want it drying inside one of the parts. This screen tends to collect some of the fiber, particularly from celery. The juicer itself comes with a toothbrush that you can use to get some of the fibers out of the little screen. I find that my fingers work fine until, sometimes it collects a little bit and I have to use the toothbrush. But most of the time I'm fine just doing it as you see it here. The impeller, if you use something like beets or carrots, it's likely to get stained. If you use a Scotch-Brite pad on the impeller, it takes off the stains. And this part, you really want to make sure that you rinse the insides thoroughly because it's hard to get down into that tube if anything dries in there. But otherwise, mostly what I do every day is I rinse everything well. I make sure all the solids have been rinsed off. I rub off any little parts that may have got sort of welded on. I dump the remaining fibers into my compost and just let it air dry. And that's how it goes.